Have you ever planned a prom? Or Sweet 16? How about a fundraiser for type 1 diabetes? The hours of work, times days, times people, required to rearrange the endless details for one event is overwhelming. Now compare that amount of time to just 1 hour of your time, spent face-to-face with a national policymaker, who after listening to your story could be inspired to vote for millions of NIH research dollars. The efficient use of time is so valuable, especially when it comes to finding a cure for diabetes. My name is Brianna Wolin, and I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 4. This October will mark my 10th year with the disease. The Merriam-Webster states the definition of advocacy as the act or process of supporting a cause or proposal. Although this may be the generic definition, what I would do as National Youth Advocate 2010 takes on personal meaning. I believe that I can empower others through my voice, my confidence, and my optimism. I began advocating for diabetes at an early age, and my efforts continually branch out as I find issues about which I feel passionate. For example, I'm a passionate person about our environment. When blue bags were introduced to the city of Chicago, the concept was to put all recyclable items into blue garbage bags. Watching the bags get thrown into garbage trucks proved to me that the blue bag program was a failure. I was inspired to write a petition, stand in front of grocery stores, and collect 200 signatures in favor of the idea to store separate or collect recyclable materials separately. 2 years later, when I was returning home from a summer class, I was so happy to finally see the blue receptacle sitting outside of our garages. I jumped out of the car and felt the largest sense of accomplishment because I knew that my petition had been a part of a collective, successful advocacy effort. Seeing the positive results advocacy can have motivates me even further to take on the ADA Youth Advocate position for 2010. Currently, I'm an ADA advocate, which leads me to encourage members of Congress to give their support to important pending bills related to policy and research funding. 8 years ago, I walked into Congressman Mark Kirk's office with a group of diabetic children in support of stem cell research. I have to believe he has never forgotten that visit. In addition to e-advocacy, I've initiated direct conversations with store merchants on behalf of diabetes in places like Argo Tea in my area of Chicago that donate part of their profits to a different organization each month. After a discussion with the manager, I told her that if the store would be so kind to consider either diabetes organization again, I would return with a large group of my friends, as well as send out emails and create a Facebook event for publicity. I think that using the technology available to us today is yet another way to be most efficient with advocacy efforts. Along with diabetes, I have celiac disease, another autoimmune disease which means zero tolerance for wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Although these two diseases appear together often, they will never appear to be a simple connection in my mind, as I struggle to maintain a strict diet and good blood sugars every single day. First, I have to check whether the ingredients are gluten-free, then whether there's no risk of contamination during preparation. Then I have to figure out carb counts and finally inject insulin after every snack and meal, hoping that my calculations, including blood sugar correction and proper ratio for the time of day, are precise. My long-awaited day off from this intense routine, which others take for granted, still hasn't come, but I know it will, especially if I lend my voice to advocacy efforts. As ADA Youth Advocate 2010, I can bring many qualities to the table. I'm able to independently manage both of my diseases, taking time out to test and take about 8 shots a day, plus eating completely gluten-free food every day of my life. Perhaps because I have to manage so many issues on a day-to-day basis, I've developed excellent organizational and time management skills. In addition, I'm extremely articulate and comfortable with communicating effectively with children and adults alike. Most importantly, I'm confident. I can throw myself into difficult situations without becoming intimidated in order to make my voice heard. Despite the sorrow that I may face or the problematic days, the obstacles which come about when I'm making plans with friends or the extreme extra precautions for traveling, at the end of the day, I'm grateful. Every day I feel the need to just get rid of it, but I'm forced internally to think about how much worse it could be. I find myself aware of testing or taking the 8th shot, and although difficult and aggravating, I realize how lucky I am, that medical supplies are available to me, and I'm healthy and prepared to live a long and rewarding life. I turn my frustration into motivation to keep plugging away at advocacy efforts, because I know someday my endless work will get that last bit of money or influence needed to create the greatest newspaper headline since the polio vaccine was discovered in the 1950s. But this time, the headline will read, "Victory over type 1 diabetes." Thank you.